Alright guys, 5 o'clock here in London. So let's have a quick look at what happened in the market today. So if we start with the Euro's been trending lower. We open at around the pivot level here, just underneath the 121 psychological handle, then managed to take the low that we printed here last week following the non-farm payroll report. Managed to break below the S1 level of the day, 120.55. Also seen a good classic short opportunity of this level, as you can see here. Managed to break below the S1 level, retrace higher, and then further push to the downside here of S1, and then some further pressure on the euro. Managed to break the S2 level of the day, 120.31, and now we're just sitting at around this level here. And we actually tested interesting level here in the euro, this level here, which is the high that we printed at the end of 2017 on the 28th of December. Now we're just sitting around this area. Just underneath that you have the 120 psychological handle. So yeah, a bit of pressure here on the euro, profit taking from these long position, maybe a bit of repositioning for the new year. So good to keep an eye on this 120 handle if we continue to see some further pressure on the euro next couple of days. Moving on into the pound. Pound has been pretty quiet during the morning session, and just before 4 o'clock you've seen the break of the morning range. Let me just wait for my chart to update here. Just underneath the pivot level, managed to take the 136 psychological handle as well, and just tested the high of yesterday. So this happened just before 4 o'clock. Some people here pinning this move to the 4 o'clock London fix, and now we're just sitting underneath this 136 psychological handle on the pound. But the scheduled economic data for the UK is coming out on Wednesday, with the UK balance of trade, manufacturing production and industrial production. So good to keep an eye on the pound. And let's say the best trade opportunity based on the scheduled economic data would be Wednesday morning 9:30, with this balance of trade and manufacturing and industrial production. If we move on into the equity markets, so this is my S&P chart here. So far every day in 2018 S&P has been closing higher, as you can see on my chart here, printing new all-time high almost every day. And now we just, for today's trading session, S&P been tested the pivot level of the day, 2736.5, just bounced back up this level. As you guys know, when the market is quiet, not a lot of economic data, not new news, then the technicals work quite well. So here, straight on the pivot, bounce back up, now trading at 27.42 on futures contract as I'm speaking. The other event of the day, you had the Q4 Bank of Canada business outlook, and it was said that the Bank of Canada finds a widespread positive business sentiment, and therefore the priced in, so the market pricing in the next rate hike that's going to happen. The next interest rate decision is on Wednesday next week, or Thursday next week, sorry, the 18th of Jan. So we move from 60% pricing in, that was at the start of last week, to now 84%. So the market pricing in the Bank of Canada hiking interest rates at their meeting next week by 84%. Just if we have a look at the Canadian dollar against the US dollar here, so we still remain at elevated levels. So this big green candle here, following last week an employment report from the Canadian economy, so stronger than expected job report. We've seen this big move here in the Canadian dollar against the US dollar, and now we're just hanging around the pivot level of the day. So Bank of Canada interest rate decision next week, Thursday. Just transition the screen here to wrap up this wrap of the day. Looking at the weekly calendar. So for tomorrow overnight you have some Japanese data. Then in the morning European session you have the German balance of trade, job report for the European area, and then pretty quiet afternoon in terms of scheduled data. And then because tomorrow is Tuesday, you're gonna have the API, crude oil inventories. Wednesday morning you have some data from the UK, and then afternoon the DOE weekly oil inventories. So a bit of quiet week in terms of economic data schedule, but then the best trade opportunities likely to be on Thursday, Friday with these inflation reading from the US. Okay guys, that's it for the day. Hope you had a good session. Enjoy your evening. Speak to you tomorrow.